Are you ready to do your life inventory checklist? Sometimes you might feel like you get stuck in cycles, like you're running on that treadmill with that hamster wheel going in circles. So let's today elevate our life, improve our life, level up with starting off as this new year gets underway with our life inventory checklist. And since this event is so important for you and me, I dressed up a little. If you want to dress up too as you do your own life inventory checklist, pause the video and come back. It could be fun. And we can do a duet together on the video at some point if you teach me the technology. But let's jump into your and my life inventory checklist. And I am Nurse Ann. I'm a certified emergency and mental health registered nurse on the front lines for many years and still going. And I see our lives, your life, my life, the lives of so many people just get stuck, caught up, whether it's labels, limitations, compulsions, habits. So let's start from scratch as the new year's getting underway and do our life inventory checklist. Get your pen and paper if you want. We're going to jump into that after this train. Take a deep breath, get ready, and let's go. So, as I said, as your new year gets underway, let's do your life inventory checklist for body, mind, and spirit. Because you know our body, mind, and spirit work together in synergy so you can be successful and get past former habits. Sometimes you'll pass by construction sites where they're tearing down a new building and getting ready for the brand new. How would you feel like to have that in your life? Tear out, clean out some of the clutter, build something brand new for you, for your family, for others, just to contribute to your own life and for this world. So we're going to jump into that now. And don't forget at the end, I have the bonus. If you stay to the end, it's the prize. I've been reading you from my published fictional drama, which is full of action, adventure, advocacy, awareness, along with danger, romance, suspense, faith, inspiration. And we're now in book 3 is A Tent Under the Bridge. If you've been following along, you know it's exciting. Even if you haven't been following, the chapters are exciting for you. They're full of adventure. And that's going to be at the end. And I'll tell you how you can get into this book club and this drama and this action at the end. So, life inventory checklist. So number 1, we're going to think about, as I said, body, mind, and spirit. So let's jump off thinking about more spiritual practices such as meditation, mindfulness, prayer, lots of prayer, bringing your life, your request to God, and letting Him shine that spotlight into your life, showing you what you can declutter, clean up, even within our souls and our hearts and our minds. As I said, it helps to do that quiet time, the prayer, the mindfulness, the meditation. We don't always have that quiet time, but it's really important to find pieces of time to do that because it's going to clarify and show you what you can work on and what you can do better. So make sure you make time for that. And as we find out sometimes, if we don't, sometimes, life has a way of slowing us down where we don't have a choice. And hopefully if that does happen, you will take that time to contemplate your life, whether it's imposed upon you or you choose to take that time. So what else can we do? When we do take that time, that quiet time recharges and regroups our thoughts to revive our purpose-driven path. Sometimes we don't know what our purpose is and we think it's hard to find, but as you dig into your own life and what you're passionate about for yourself, for others, for your family, these things will start to bubble up and we can work on that as we go. And it will also give us more discernment, making those right decisions, refine our intuition so that we'll know immediately if what we're doing is the right choice or if we can refine that. Asking the Holy Spirit to infuse our prayers with that guidance will help to guide our life and decisions. And this will improve our character, our integrity. It is so important before you even jump into whatever endeavor you're following, to refine your character, your integrity, your values, to help your life purpose. Because even if you start cranking out your life purpose, your vision, even being prosperous, if you don't have that character and integrity, what is it really all for? Think about that. So some soul hacks, some spiritual hacks, some life hacks. Refining your purity and your intentions towards yourself and others is so important. And it can also help us to lead simpler, quieter, more mindful lives where we put the main thing first, what's important first. That quiet time, spending time with God, with others, your friends, your family. That's so important. Instead of always being on the grind and just cranking out to be successful, that will come as we do lead those quieter and simpler lives and refine our purpose and what we're going to do. So if you want to get off that treadmill, that hamster wheel, I know we can't get it off of it completely because we do have life is coming at us, bills, responsibilities, but you can have it more simpler, quieter. So do that spiritual, mindful, meditative inventory. That will start it all off. If you need to write some things down on paper, do that. Have that quiet time. And so we're going to jump into, also it's going to help you elevate your maturity level to help you and those you love make those better choices for better outcomes for ourselves and others, and have that internal peace based on making those right choices. So far, what do you think about that? Leave it in the comments what you think about spiritual maturity, quietness, taking that downtime, and figuring out your life inventory checklist. Once again, I'm Nurse Ann. Please follow this channel, this page, like, subscribe, share this with someone else who needs to also do a spiritual and a life inventory and level up and just enjoy life more for their body, mind, and spirit. So follow, like, share, and we're going to jump into the next one. Leave your comment of the life inventory checklist for our bodies to refine our choices, to start off with life-giving choices of your food and beverages. I've had other podcasts where we delve more into that, and there's more on my website, nurseann.com, link it's in the description, nurseann.com, and you can see all the tabs to help you. There's a nurse's station, healthy eating, mental battles. There's so much there to refine the food and beverage choices that you make. So we're not going to really jump into the choices today, just a quick reminder of thinking about your healthy choices that you make of what you eat and drink. Get more superfoods, healthier beverage. Also exercise, get up if you sit down all day, and make sure you're stretching and getting enough sleep. I talk about that also in other videos. Not only does it improve your mind, your thinking, your clarity, it also helps build your brain muscle, recharge your cells, and it also helps build your body muscle. Even though you might exercise and lift weights, while you're resting and sleeping, your body is actually building muscle. Did you know that? So before we move on to the mind section, think about your physical surroundings, whether it's your closets, your house, your desk, even your kitchen, whatever, your physical surroundings. If you need to make some time, we need to make some time to declutter, organize. Sometimes we think, what is the point? Because it gets messed up again, but it really does help you think clearer, have a calmer life. Believe it or not, if you do this, you already know that. So find time to clean out, declutter. If you find things you don't need anymore, you can give them away to people in need. It's also a quick mood and life elevator to do that for others. So moving on to our mind for our life inventory checklist of body, mind, and spirit with Nurse Ann. Giving a mind rest helps with clarity. Also finding a way to forgive others and let things go, not letting them build up where we feel angry and frustrated. Just having that calmness and peace with yourself and others, learning how to forgive. And as we know, even though you might forgive, you still want to have healthy boundaries. And at my website, there's a tab called Boundaries that helps us on that endeavor, because especially if you're a nice and loving person, sometimes your boundaries can slide, and that's not good, because healthy boundaries helps us respect ourselves as we respect others and get that in return, and also helps others learn their own life lessons, because we all have to do our own life inventory checklist, and we can't always do that for others. So work on your boundaries, also work on forgiveness. Decrease your negative thinking, listen to podcasts, follow this page because it's full of inspirational wellness, also to inspire, advocate, encourage, create. Listen to other channels, read the word, read things that encourage you and help you replace your negative thoughts. I remember there's a verse that reminds us to think about what is good, pure, lovely. Just think about things that are life-giving. As I said, downplaying those trivial offenses and learning and growing, learning our part in that, and learning how we can elevate from what we learn. We can be a blessing even with those boundaries. So work on your body, mind, and spirit. And all this is going to help. If you get your life purpose, think about your life investments. It's not just money. It's also time for yourself, time for your family, time for others, building into and giving back to the lives of others. And we're going to talk about that more in a minute. So what are some things that you can create? How can you share your life wisdom? How can you listen to other stories and share your own stories? I'd love to hear that in the comment. One day I'd love to interview you and do a duet. Just have to learn how to do that. But in the meantime, you can leave your wisdom, your comments here, and I will address that as long as they're appropriate. So to back this up, we're going to jump into my published devotionals, and then we'll hurry and get to the prize, the bonus, the fictional drama, because it is full of action and adventure, along with advocacy and awareness for what you go through and what others go through. So everyone get a drink as part of our life checklist for our health. And take a deep breath. Did you dress up? Leave that in the comments since I can't see you. So the first one is from my Inspiration Battles devotional. This is really going to help you because the focus is soul searching with a dose of encouragement. It also has biblical medicine for real life, because we know the battle to stay inspired can seem overwhelming at times. Today I picked, it's an A to Z devotional, and I picked from the letter E is entanglements, because part of our life inventory checklist and decluttering is also entanglements in our life. It's not always people and relationships. It can be, as I said, mind battles, just so many things. So let's get some insight about entanglements from Inspiration Battles devotional by Nurse Ann. Hopefully your favorite nurse, new indie author, and new spoken word, which I'll show you in a minute. So when we start on our life journey, especially of striving to please the Lord, we might find that some of our everyday pursuits and relationships could neutralize our forward progress. So taking that life inventory can reveal areas that we need to cut back on if we want to make that life purpose, be fishers of others and souls, and win souls for the eternal purpose of life now and to come. Imagine wearing a heavy coat while you're trying to swim laps in a pool. Talk about getting slowed down. It seems like the more we spend time in prayer and devotions and that quiet time, the easier it is to discern what is best from what is just good or from what's not good. How often do you take a spiritual and life inventory? Leave that in the comments. Do you clean your closets and drawers with each new season? It makes sense that our calendars, relationships, life goals could use frequent scrutiny and adjustments. That's why we're doing this life inventory checklist. What areas do you find challenging to prune? What are you afraid of missing out on if you adjust certain activities or relationships? Just as pruning a rose bush makes room for beautiful new blossoms, cutting away certain entanglements will yield an abundant harvest of blessings for your life, for our lives, and the souls of those in need. God can show us the way. So, Inspiration Battles devotional by Nurse Ann. And the next one is Word Puzzles devotional, where I left you interesting, fun, new words, but I linked it to our everyday life and inner thought struggles, along with more relevant biblical prescriptions to get your dose of wisdom and inspiration. Because you can overcome and thrive these wheels that we go around and offer hope and new light for your life journey. It's also medicine for your soul. Word Puzzles devotional. Today I chose something called, it's from also an A to Z devotional. And the letter is J and the word is J June. What does that mean? Lacking interest or significance or impact. And part of our life inventory checklist today is so that our life will have meaning, significance, and impact. Make that impact in your own life and the lives of others. So surely we don't want it said about our life that we lack significance or impact. And there's a principle by Dr. Charles Stanley that says we're given the secret to make a lasting, meaningful impact. And he says that our intimacy with God, it's his highest priority for our lives, determines the impact of our lives. We're given divine guidance on proper pursuits when we listen. We're also bestowed with supernatural energy and creativity in spite of our day-to-day routines. You know, that wheel. 2 Timothy energizes us to stir up our gifts, use them for others. Don't let your gifts get rusty or put up on a shelf. No matter your age or situation, the Lord promised to endow you with the opposite of a fearful disposition. Instead, we can walk in power, love, and a sound mind. So go ahead, stir up and make use of your gifts, of your spiritual and creative passions. Set them free in order to bless your own lives and the lives of others. And that was from Word Puzzles devotional. And then we're going to jump into Energize Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit. As I said, our body, mind, and spirit do work together in synergy. So as you make your life inventory checklist, you want to think about all those areas. Today, getting back more into the spiritual, what we touched on was many pursuits and possessions clamor for our attention every day. And as I said in the other devotional, need some water. Stay healthy. Many pursuits and possessions clamor for our attention every day. And remember, Dr. Charles Stanley taught us that our intimacy with God is his highest priority for our lives. It will determine the impact of our lives. And this is a great principle to keep in mind every day as we make our choices of how we will use and spend our time for body, mind, and spirit. Our great life need is to be loved. We're designed for fellowship, first with God, and then everything else will flow from this important time. Sometimes, I remember, you've heard this teaching that sometimes we can spend our whole lives climbing a ladder of success and building our kingdoms, only to find out at the top of the ladder or the end of our pursuits that we find that we have placed our ladders against the wrong wall. If you feel like you have drifted away from the main purpose, it's never too late to find your way back. So I'm going to let you read the rest of that at Energize Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit by Nurse Ann. One more, and this is from my spoken word from Ignite Life Poetry Devotional, recently released, because I want you to, as you go, dare to inspire and bless everyone in your path. Listen to those life stories. I want to hear your life stories. Leave them in a comment. I really do. I'm interested and will encourage you and pray for you. So today I chose one called Generosity. And I just started doing spoken word. Let me know what you think in the comments after you follow and like and share. So today is Generosity by Nurse Ann. What gifts will you give with others to share? Your time, your attention. These things show that you care. A helping hand, burdens to bear. We're all brothers and sisters, even when life is unfair. So break open your bank, untap your reserve, shower onto others, and fill up their tank. Pay it forward, they say, just to brighten someone's day. The secret they don't tell is that it will also fill up your own life well. And that's Generosity by Nurse Ann from my Ignite Life Poetry Devotional. I want your life to be ignited. What did you think about that? And the devotional part tells us that giving to others is a quick mood elevator for both parties. What a sense of joy we feel to give our time or a carefully picked out gift. And the added bonus of seeing a smile on someone's face is like icing on the cake. Speaking of icing on the cake, we're about to jump into the bonus icing on the cake prize. Before that, I just want to show you there's one more devotional, mental healing poetry devotional. We discuss life challenges along with God-ordained courage and healing, mental healing, to help us turn away from mindsets controlled by fear. So there's inspiration to step into your true destiny of a faith walk and purpose-driven path. As you can see, these all work together. So I know you have things to do, so we're going to jump into this chapter, and then I'm going to let you go. It's going to be quick. It's full of action and adventure, and to make it easier, this is a 6-part drama series I created in my free time as a busy nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency, along with my other responsibilities. But it's so exciting, and to make it cheaper, almost free, and easier, I put it in one book. It's the Mental Files First 6 Stories edition. There is a link on my website and also at other booksellers. And also, we don't always have time to read, so I did have it made into an audiobook, and this is what it looks like on Audible and iTunes. It's the Mental Files First 6 Stories edition by Nurse Ann, narrated by Drama Simpson. He brought this to life with siren noises, lots of action. You feel like you're right there in the action because it is made to be a television drama series one day with your help. The Mental Files First 6 Stories edition by Nurse Ann. So as promised, we're going to jump into today's chapter. We already finished book 1, which is The Mental Files Sheep Among Wolves, where you met the young lady fending for herself on the street while battling frightening hallucination, trying to fend off ravenous predatory wolves. Book 2 is Dr. John Doe. We talked about dementia, Alzheimer's, and you got to ride along more with the frontline workers, their relationship drama and battles. Today we're in The Mental Files, A Tent Under the Bridge. I'll give you a quick recap, and then when you get to the next book, it's Defenders of the Weak. We talk about people getting bullied and anxiety and how they help each other overcome that. And there's the Mental Files Ready, Willing, and Able. We talk about the spectrum, about disabilities, and how people can also shine in their lives and be the superheroes also in others' lives. And the culmination is book 9, The Mental Files Out of Control. We deal with relapse, addiction, the culmination of the relationships and the frontline workers. It's a season finale made to be a television drama series. So back to today's, it's The Mental Files, A Tent Under the Bridge. This is the 3rd book in this exciting drama. And you met Abigail, who was living in a tent under the bridge. We're going to find out why she's doing that. And she went to the store to get some needed items, but her card was declined in the first store. So she'd been caught in there before, so she went to the next store so maybe she could get what she needed. And then we also read chapter 2, moving on up, and then the last one was jail or ER. Why did she put jail or the emergency room? Because she got caught. So I'm not going to give that away. It's on the last podcast. But today is chapter 4, Paramedics in Action. And you've already met Mars. He was a young man caught in a life of crime and danger, and the frontline workers helped rescue him, and they're mentoring that. And through all this, he decided from their example of different life careers to be a paramedic. So today is Paramedics in Action. He almost missed it because he forgot the date. Him and his mom had just moved into a better neighborhood away from the crime and danger. So, Paramedics in Action. Thankfully, Mars had made it in time to ride along on his first assignment. Since he had to rush, he didn't have as much time to defeat his confidence with his usual ruminations of wondering if he would be able to do a good job and handle the pressure. What do you ruminate about? Leave that in the comments. We'll discuss it and get some help and encouragement for that. He was actually pumped with excitement, especially since the police were involved on this call. What would it be? Gunshot victims? Car collisions? His daydreams of adventure were suddenly halted as they arrived to meet the squad car. The wild-eyed lady seemed happy to see the paramedics. After Officer Leon filled Mars in on the story, he asked the young man how things were going Ever since he had volunteered to mentor the young man who grew up without a father, he was getting attached. Leon was getting attached to Mars. He was especially proud that he had helped rescue the young man from a life of crime, and to see him now with a new career was icing on the cake. Mars filled his mentor in on the new house that he and his mom were renting. He even confided he might find his own apartment one day. Don't tell my mom yet, though. She would probably be sad that I'm leaving. I think she just wants what's best for you, man, suggested the elder. True, she's a great mom. But still, I'll wait until I know for sure, replied the new paramedic. For sure. Hope to see you soon. Oh, and if the ER decides not to keep your patient, have them call us. We're going to take her to jail, instructed Leon as he drove to the next call with his partner. While Mars and his paramedic partner Maria were headed to the ER, he listened as Maria called in the report. She is so professional, he thought, and gorgeous. I'll have to find out about her life. His daydream was cut short when Abigail started to whine about needing to use the bathroom. Okay, ma'am, we should be there soon, answered the orientee. Ma'am, pondered the thief-turned-patient. He must be a newbie. I wonder how long that polite routine will last. Chapter 5 is ER routine. So we finished chapter 4. So I'm going to see you on the next nurseann.com podcast. I hope you're doing your life inventory checklist and enjoy this drama. Follow, like, share. See you soon. I can't wait.